Welcome, listeners. This week on Just Neapolitan, we talk about video games. Joined by Maggie and Floyd, and I'm your resident. I got nothing this week. Bryan.
That
It
feels
was
like
creative.
foreshadowing.
That's one of the, I have a list of like backup shit if I can't think of something. It's actually one of them on the list that I'm like, yeah, but I can't use that until we've actually done a few episodes.
Right.
And I just couldn't think of one today.
It's been a long day for everyone, I think.
Hasn't for me.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I've been up for like 2.5 hours. Had some coffee,
Cannot
watched
relate.
some hockey, and now we're gonna do the dice thing. Oh my god! Okay, so I rolled a 15, right?
Okay.
So normally when we roll these, I take that we rolled off, right?
Correct.
And I put a new one in.
Mm-hmm.
So last week we rolled 14, and that was a game memory from childhood. But I was like, oh, that can stay on. Everyone's got a ton of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you notice I rolled 15.
Yes.
I added a new thing today. So guess
Which
what's
is?
number 15 now?
14 from last week.
It sure is. Name a game memory from childhood.
That is so funny. Should we re-roll?
No. Eddie's the only one with a reroll, and he's not here today. We are slaves to the dice. Dice. No, it's singular. Dice. Where did the dice? We all go die now. Really bad stuff.
Willy bad.
We're gonna kill you. Man, I want a villain that talks like that, but like in a serious movie though. But like not like a comedy. Like have it be like a serious movie, but just no one mentions it. No one makes any big deal about it. Well, Floyd, you weren't here last week, so how about you go first to buy Maggie and I some time?
Sure. I was hoping one of y'all went first to buy me some time.
Okay,
No.
you know what? That's fine. I can, because last week was kind of like easy for me because since I'm doing the whole Final Fantasy VI playthrough again thing. So instead, I'll talk about this one. Like probably my first really like formative video game memory. Like I'd played in arcades, I think, before this. But it was after my grandfather died. And, they were going through all this stuff at my grandmother's house. And, we're young, so we're just like in the way, basically. And in the closet with like all his suits and everything in a box was the Atari 2600 that they had. And so basically they just like gave it to like me and my cousin, like just go play with this. And so we set it up and we sat down and we played Combat. I always want to call it War for some reason, but it's Combat, the one with like the tanks and the planes.
Mm-hmm.
And we spent the whole day just playing that. And obviously like too young to really like emotionally like process like the loss of your grandfather. Like that came through years later. But no, so for me that day and everyone going through stuff and me and my cousin just sat there in my grandmother's living room and just played Combat for like hours and hours and hours. So.
Oh, that's sweet and sad and yeah.
I mean, I think I was like maybe 6 when he died. I didn't know him that well. Do you know what I mean? Like it's So it's one of those things. It's like it's sad when I think about the fact that I didn't get to know him and that most of my memories are other people's stories. But like on a personal like sadness level, I didn't have enough of an attachment. Like most of my sadness from that time is because other people were sad. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't like in my young brain, it didn't process like enough to me. I did like 6 years later, just like cry about it randomly for no reason. Like it just hit me one day, like, oh, my grandfather's dead.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get to know him. You know what I mean? Like, but like I was older then, and that's when the thoughts of like, oh, But like, so for me, it's such a weird juxtaposition because like that memory should be sad, but that's just like a fun bonding memory for me with my
Yeah.
cousin. Which I guess in the long run, I've always had the thought about like when it comes to death is that I'd rather celebrate the person
Hmm.
than be sad that they're gone. So
Yeah.
I guess like for me and for my mindset and how I view death in general these days, maybe that's part of why I view it that way. I don't know, but I just think it's a healthier way to view things. So for me, it's like I like that memory. It's a happy memory for me.
Yeah.
And I don't have a lot of memories of my grandfather, and so it's weird that one of my happy memories happened, but it's like that is an event that still revolves around his life in my mind because they were going through all his stuff. And that's why I got one of his ties.
Nice.
Do you
That's-
still
that's-
have it to this day?
No, God, no.
Oh.
I've lost so much stuff in moves. Like I've lost more things than I currently own through moves in my life. It's just which also maybe why I have the whole mentality of it's just stuff, you can let it go. You know, because I've had some things that did mean a lot to me over the years that I've had to deal with letting go, and so. Wow, I didn't expect it to get this this heavy this early.
Yeah.
I wish I was that type of person that could let go of things. I'm such a fucking hoarder. I'm like, this piece of paper from this movie we went to yesterday is gonna mean so much to me 5 years from now. I'm like, no, it's not. Most of the time I find those pieces of paper and I'm like, what was this? What did I do? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I prefer the memories because I'm like, I can't just lose those in a move. Those will probably be lost at some point because that's what happens.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Let's see. Actually, I got one. It's the first video game I've ever beaten, right? And it was Duke Nukem on the OG Xbox.
Duke Nukem 3D?
Yeah.
Yes!
It was funny because my dad had bought it for like me and my brothers for like Christmas. But in the typical parent thing, he was like, "Oh, it's just a video game. How bad can it be?"
That's so funny.
Anybody who played Duke Nukem knows how bad it is.
Oh, yeah.
And so
How old were you?
I don't remember actually.
Mm.
But I was young. I was pretty young. And I remember playing it, and my dad comes in the room. He's like, "What the fuck?" So he goes on this whole tangent of just not letting us play it for like a month or so. And then one day I come home, and this motherfucker is playing it.
That's so
Of
funny.
course.
I was like, "Oh, it's fun, huh?" So we ended up playing it together, and we ended up beating the game like while taking turns through the levels and shit, and that was really fun to me.
Oh, that's
my
so
God.
sweet.
I'm going to rip off your head and shit in your neck. Oh,
Horrid.
yeah. Oh, that game, it's so over the top bad that it's just like it comes out the other side. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's like a Sharknado game.
Yeah.
Although mechanically for the time, it's a really good shooter, honestly. Like,
Mm-hmm. Imagine my dad just like, hey, cover your eyes. It's titties. I was like, bro, I've been playing the game already. I've
Yeah.
seen them.
so they're
know
so
what boobs
pixelated to
are.
nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like all the horniness for Laura Croft with her,
Extremely,
pyramid boobs.
extremely pointy boobs.
I blame Madonna for that. As
Yes,
to
it
why
was
the pointy boobs turned us
very
on. That,
stylistically
sorry, I probably,
choice.
yeah, it's like I should have finished that whole thought process. You're not in my head. Why can't
Wait.
y'all just be in my head?
Bryan, repeat what the question is exactly. Is it just a memory?
Yeah, it's just a gaming memory from childhood.
Okay, so this it's so stupid. This is not technically from childhood. I was in high school at this point, but because I'm an
That
adult
counts.
now, I consider that being a child. So my friends and I used to drink a lot in high school. We were little hooligans, and I was dating someone at the time, and he had lent me Grand Theft Auto 5, which I know has been out for like 8 billion years at this point. And
God, you just made me feel old with that.
he had lent me his copy of the
Grand Theft Auto
game.
5 in high school.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I've been I graduated 10 years ago, so that should tell you something. But anyway, mi corazón. Anyway, so he had lent it to me, whatever, and me and my best friend, I I won't out her on here. me and my best friend were hanging out at my place, and I think my dad was home. I think he was home, and it was just me and my one friend. I think we were probably like 16, maybe 17. And we had gotten a bottle of melon flavored vodka from somewhere, which awful, let me tell you, horrible, horrible flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And so how my living room was set up was that the TV, so our kitchen and our living room, it was kind of like an open concept, but there was like an archway with seating and like an island, and the TV swiveled so you could turn it so you could watch the TV in the kitchen kind of thing. So I was sitting in one of the chairs. My friend was behind me on the couch, and I was playing the game. And I had put, I think, like 70 hours into this game. I was so ready for it to be over. And I was at the final like heist thing. I was at the end of the game, and we had been drinking, and both of us were like pretty drunk, whatever. And I finished the game. Credits start rolling. I'm screaming. I'm so excited. I'm like, yeah, I did it. And I turn around and I look at my friend and I go, I beat the game. And she projectile vomits everywhere.
Hilarious.
I just looked at her, and I looked at the game, and I was like, fuck. She immediately, I was like, okay, let's go clean you up. Took her, showered, put her in my bed. But my dad was literally downstairs the whole time. So I'm panicking. The credits are still rolling. I'm trying to like scrub everything. So basically, I never got to really enjoy beating Grand Theft Auto 5. Especially, and I feel like, again, I wasn't in high school like that long ago. 10 years is a long time, but like in the grand scheme of things. But it was at a time in my life where I kind of had that feeling of like people all the time were like, girls can't game. Girls don't know how to play games. Girls can't play shooters. Girls, like that kind of feeling. And so I was so fucking excited to have finished this game, and I was like, I did it on my own. And then I couldn't even enjoy it because the room smelled like melon vodka.
Oh god. Melon vodka and bile.
She's gonna kill me if she ever hears this, but I didn't say her name, so
Well, so to make up for the jokes, Floyd, why are you playing Baldur's Gate 3 while we're podcasting?
I'm not. It's just on.
It literally just popped up and said you were playing it. Anyway,
It's been on since before we even started.
all right, that's fair. So to make up for my joke period we had with the misogyny last week, we're gonna repair a little here. So
okay.
I never fucking beat Grand Theft Auto 5 because that shit started getting hard, and I was like, fuck this game.
Then maybe I get to celebrate now. Yeah!
So just for that whole like, oh, girls can't play hard games. I'm like, motherfucker, I can't play hard games.
And the bitch is telling me too that I couldn't do it. They probably couldn't do it either. So
90%. Oh, half that shit those fuckers are like. It's like with the fucking Dark Souls community. Like half those people are just trying to like talk hard.
Yeah.
And then you've got the half that actually believe they're that good. And I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
But, like it's so hard to like pick out. Okay, who's trolling and who's like actually a dickhead.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes yes. But there's some of those people that are like, what? I did that in one try, and you're like, and they're just trying to be funny and get under your skin.
Yeah.
But then there's the people that are literally like, but you can't do that. I do that no hit. What's wrong with you? And you're like, oh my God, I own 400 games, so go fuck yourself.
Literally.
Get on my fucking power level, scrub.
I'm playing 6 different games at once.
Seriously, like, I'm like, I just decided I'm not going to play Dark Souls anymore. Started playing another game because I was like, oh, I have an extra game slot open now.
Yeah.
Right?
Because I'm insane, apparently. Speaking of, they new patch for Baldur's Gate 3.
That's why Floyd's playing.
Which is why I'm playing again. Because the patch specifically fixed the thing that I was having a problem with, and I didn't want to happen a second time. So.
Which part?
So Ketherick Thorm? Does that name mean anything to you?
No.
No, she ain't even made it that far yet.
So then
Bryan,
we'll leave it there.
I haven't touched the game in weeks. Probably months. Not months.
I mean, I hadn't either.
Like a month.
No, it's a boss fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't opened my game since that time you guys were watching me play and it crashed. And I was with that like giant eyeball down in the depths or something. I don't remember exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Underdark. Yeah.
Yeah, because you found an eyeball, and I was like, I didn't see that guy. I was all over the Underdark.
What do you mean?
I seen it. I
seen
avoided it like the plague.
Man, I would have scrubbed that bitch. But yeah, so my second fight with him was like, here's the funny part. I beat the shit out of him so quickly in the second fight, he didn't do that to me. The thing, he didn't use the frightened power on me that fucked me up the first time. I'm like, really?
I waited all this time.
Yeah. But then, so I've obviously continued from there. And, the plot has thickened.
You made it to Act 3 yet?
I'm about to, I'm supposed to be leaving to actually finally be on the road to Baldur's Gate.
Got it. Literally, the second you hit the road starts Act 3.
I figured it would. I'm trying to do something else before I go, so I don't lose.
Does it tell you when you're in the next act? Like,
yes.
Does it say, okay.
Yeah, it'll literally be like, that's why I think I'm in Act 2, and then it literally was like Act 2, and I'm like, okay, I'm in Act 2 now. Got it. Yeah.
No, when I tell you I am literally still at the very beginning of the game, I mean it. I mean, I am at the very beginning of the game. I have not done anything because, like Bryan, I'm one of those people that are just walking around every square inch that I can. I'm poking at everything. I'm trying to get my money's worth, which, first of all, they've gone above and beyond, and I could talk praise about Baldur's Gate all the time, but I also just don't play as often as you guys in particular. Like, I pick it up, I play for like an hour or two, I turn it off, and then I don't pick it up for another month. So I'm moving very slowly, but I do want to pick it back up again, especially with the smoochin' patch, where they fixed the smoochin' animations in the game.
They added some too, and I was like,
know.
oh, look at that.
A forehead smooch. I said, cute.
Well, it's nice that I think is that they added just these interactions with the person you're with, because I've always thought that was a problem with games. It's like, okay, I get it, like, the romance path, but a lot of them just like the romance seems like it's a checklist of things to do.
Yeah.
So I like that it's like the dialogue has changed a bit, which also, like, how cool is that? That means that the voice actors are coming back in to record extra lines.
More, yeah.
I'm like, that's just cool. That's like, these people know they did something special. If they're like, oh, come back in to record like 10 new lines. Absolutely. I'm now at that point too, where I'm already like looking forward to my second playthrough.
Yeah.
But no, like, my thing is, like, I'm not even about, like, to get my money's worth. Because, like, I feel like if I enjoyed the game, I did get my money's worth.
Yeah, and I get that.
And I definitely enjoyed this one enough that I'm like, oh, no, I'm happy I own this game. it's like for me, is like with Final Fantasy VI. It's like I replay Final Fantasy VI every couple of years, just cause, just because it's fun to play, and that's like, well, I mean, I can probably get through that in like 30 hours now because I'm so used to the mechanics. But that's probably like a 60-hour game if you try and do all the little stuff in it. But like I absolutely see like Baldur's Gate 3 being one of those for me, where it's like, no, I haven't played this in like 3 years. I'm gonna play it through again, kind of thing.
It's kind of, and I know this is a horrible comparison, but for me, it's kind of like Stardew because there's so many different romanceable options. There's so many different things you can do, and obviously the story is going to stay the same, but you can go about it in different ways. And I think because I go back to Stardew all the time, new playthroughs all the time, just because I'm used to it, and I feel like once I eventually do finish Baldur's Gate, it's gonna be kind of that like same mentality.
But yeah, and then we've got our evil playthrough that we're all doing together.
Eventually, we'll get back to that, right? Because I was having a lot of fun with that.
Oh, it is the maximum chaos playthrough.
I wish we had started recording it from the very beginning because that would have been so fun to watch because it's not like we all agreed it was going to be chaos when we started playing together. It just started happening and we were all like, yeah, this is how we're doing it now. This is how it goes.
It's what happens when the four of us get together in a game.
So true.
Yeah.
Well, because we're all like, we should talk about the choice. And then Eddie's like, bad. He clicks on a button and you're like, no, Eddie.
As long as I get to play my music, I'm with it.
He's standing in the
Oh my god, yeah, Floyd the Bard. No, it's great because, Floyd, you're being exactly the kind of bard I wanted to be in our D&D playthrough.
Just standing in the middle of a fight playing my flute like, yep. I might die. I might not. Ah, shit. I'm down.
me constantly going, are you playing that again? Just yelling. Like...
Well, and what is it, that song that you can randomly play that does nothing? That other people can join in on?
Every time I ask Floyd, I'm like, does this song do anything? He's, nope. Just standing in the corner.
Oh. Yeah, no, it's so like that used to be bards in D&D is they were mostly useless. Like there's so many other classes that were better than them at other stuff, but you play them because they're fun. And then they kept changing the rules and like making them stronger. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool and all, but I just want to play it as the useless bard. Like, oh, I have sorcery spells. What are some fun ones? Let's see. Tasha's hideous laughter, because duh.
Oh my god, I love using that on people.
Oh my god, that's one of my favorite spells ever. I actually managed to get rid of that as a sorcerer because I'm picking up so many scrolls for it that I was like, I'm just gonna reopen the spell slot because I have like fucking 16 of these goddamn scrolls. I keep forgetting to use my scrolls. I just have an inventory full of fucking scrolls.
My favorite is killing somebody with vicious mockery. It's so.
Oh my god! Yes. I told you was a bitch.
Look at you. Your mom's a hoe. My mother.
Dead.
A little bit of sparkling water ASMR. Oh, that looks fucked up on the wave.
I'm like, I couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. Discord probably cut it out. Ginger citrus twist. That's very good.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
Oh yeah. Also, would one of you play Balatro already? It's a free demo.
What that is.
I talked about it so much.
He has talked about it a lot.
I've posted things in the Discord about it.
He did do that.
Kendall and I talk about it all the time.
Constantly, actually.
You know what? You're right. I have seen it. And every time you post it, I'm thinking you're talking to Kendall. So I just go, nice. And just keep going.
Well, I am. Yes. But it's this thing about Discords is just because I'm specifically talking to one person doesn't mean you have to go, oh, that's a private conversation. We scroll. It's in Discord. What?
I'm
Because you
scrolling-
tag
I'm
somebody in
scrolling right
something, I'm not
now.
gonna like click on the TikTok. What the fuck, man?
I'm scrolling. I
Oh,
am
I'll check it
scrolling.
out later today.
yeah. No, you won't. You're playing Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll
I'll
just-
Don't lie to me to make
download
me
it.
feel better. Just don't do it.
I'll just download it. I will do that.
It's on Steam.
Yes, it's a free demo right now. The full game is coming out in 3 days.
Okay.
But okay, so besides that, God, I now completely understand how Candle feels every time he tries to get us to play Soma. I'm sorry, Candle. I mean, I'm still not going to play it, but I'm sorry.
Balatro. Oh. Bryan was playing it on stream.
I
I
did
didn't-
do that.
I didn't know what was going on, so I fell asleep. But I did watch for a little bit.
And that's exactly why I don't bother streaming. What's this guy doing? I don't get it. Time to sleep. Yep, that's my audience.
I said, "Oh, Bryan's playing a me." Me.
Oh, it's a card game?
Oh, I haven't got the cartoon sleepies, huh?
Yeah,
Damn.
I was sleeping soundly.
Oh, shit. You know what? We talked about this last week, now that I'm thinking about things. Did anyone... Well, Floyd wasn't here, so time to put him on the spot again. What are the 7 video game dwarves?
I have no idea. What? I'm so confused.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, like the 7 dwarves?
Uh-huh.
Well, I think Eddie wanted he wanted to be like Shooty or something.
Oh yeah, like okay, now I'm remembering.
And I was like,
I was
I'm
just
those are
gonna
like the
stay
7
quiet
video game
until...
dwarves.
Yeah, I was just like,
I
I'm
didn't,
gonna stay
yeah,
quiet
you were
until
here on that
Bryan,
episode. Like,
Till Bryan reminds me.
yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. Talk about it more, though.
Could you talk about it more though, just to refresh my memory, because I definitely remember. No, we were talking about it because we couldn't remember all the names of the 7 dwarves, and then yeah, Eddie was like, "Can I be Shooty?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." And then I think Bryan was like, "What would be the 7 video game dwarves?" So there would definitely be Shooty. There would be Cozy. There would
yep.
be
Horny.
Horny.
You can't tell me there's not.
No, there is. There'd be what?
Gotcha.
Yeah, what is the realm of like? No, I guess that is Shooty. I was gonna say like Apex and like,
Yeah, that's shooty.
but what? Okay,
What would we call it? A platformer?
yeah,
Jumpy.
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 How many are we at? 4?
Well, 5 if we accept Gotcha, but I think
I
there's
mean, Gotcha could be Doc.
No, we can't reuse. But I think Gotcha we'd want to go for
No.
like casual.
No,
for
I'm
casual
saying
together.
because all of them have like a Y. At the end
Oh,
of
the
it,
Y
except
and the
Doc.
Gotcha would be
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha with that. Gotcha.
but so we have
Oh, wait. You know what? Instead
Horny,
of Gotcha,
Shooty, Cozy,
we could just call it
Jumpy.
Looty.
Jumpy, Looty. Now we need 2 more.
Yeah. So
What about
Shooty.
puzzles? What about puzzle games? Smarty.
Okay. Got it. Yep.
And scary.
And scary.
And scary.
Scary. Oh my god, that's so good. Write
So
that down.
we've-
Write that down.
I was just trying to remember all 7 of them right now. We got Shooty and Looty.
Shooty, Looty.
We got Jumpy and Horny.
Jumpy, horny, cozy.
Cozy.
Scary.
Smarty. And Scary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are the 7 gaming dwarves.
Somebody put that on the t-shirt.
Put it on a shirt.
That's trademark of Just Neapolitan. That's our shirt. You cannot take that idea. We have
This
a
is legally
lot of
binding.
lawyers.
Yeah. No, you gotta sound
I mean,
more confident.
I know a couple, but none of them do property law.
Yeah, the one I know works in housing, so not exactly.
I mean, that property law, not intellectual property law, but
A little different, a little different.
it's a little. Also, I think one of them I haven't really talked to in like 6 or 7 years.
Mm.
And that would be a
People will
weird.
work.
It'd be
People
a
work for
weird way to
anything.
start a conversation, though.
Hey, I made this.
It's like, hey, you want a new client?
Yeah, hi, friend of mine. Would you like a new client? Yeah, that's a little awkward, bud. Hey,
Like, the
you
best
owe
way
me
to
for that
start-
time with that thing. So pro bono?
Someone is going to listen to this episode and they're gonna be such assholes and be like, actually, you forgot this game. Actually, you forgot this type of gameplay.
Maggie, I pray for the day that we have some dickheads listen to us and leave some comments somewhere, okay? Please give me something else to do. I would be thankful for it. Although I think most of the platforms we're on, I can't get comments on. I can probably get comments on Apple, but that would require me signing into Apple.
I'm chronically online, so I'm down to argue 24/7.
Chronically
Yeah,
online.
YouTube calls that engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah, so does literally everybody. Instagram.
Yeah, everybody. They're like, oh, no, we love it when you argue. Because that means people are doing stuff. Whoa.
It's like, yeah, let me rage bait you into some money. Thank you.
Yeah, right. We noticed that you don't agree with this. Buy this now. I will buy this generic shirt that says what I like on it.
I do it all the time.
I mean, me too, but I prefer there to be pictures as well. Like, if I'm giving you money for a shirt, there better be a picture on it.
Yeah.
I'm not paying you for just text. Just text, we can do that here. Actually, the pictures we could as well, but that's more work. Anyone been playing any fun games?
I have mainly been still playing Persona 3, and I'm scared that I'm gonna stop exactly at the same point that I was the last time because I have the attention span of a goldfish. So I've been playing that. I don't think I've really been playing much else. I streamed more of a Nancy Drew game on Twitch not too long ago, and that's been fun, but apparently it's one of the most, if not the most hated Nancy Drew game in the franchise, so I'm excited to see what people have to say about how I feel about it the next time I stream, because I'm definitely at the end of the game. But other than that,
like a character of color as the main somewhere.
no.
Okay. I'm just saying. Oh.
No, I think people hate the storyline because it doesn't really make a lot of sense. The quote unquote newer games, and by newer I mean like 2015, the storylines, everybody was like, who's writing these now? Because these are really bad. And this one in particular is about a guy who's
great before,
no, but they've gotten but imagine them worse.
I thought about that and I didn't say it.
But imagine them worse.
Yeah.
So
well, but are there at least like weird quotes like fired and I missed?
Yeah, fired and I missed.
And I fired again and I missed.
Or that one old woman from the second game.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But
Coke Granny was great.
Love her. She will be making a comeback eventually. But in the one that I'm currently playing, the main character in it, his name's Sunny June, and he appears a lot in like all of the other games, not all of, but a lot of the other games. And this is the first time you like actually get to see him. And
what's his name?
Sunny June. And he is
along with his partner, Lemon Drop.
He is a lot, and basically you're on like The Amazing Race pretty much, like you're on a it's not reality TV, like a competition, and your partner falls off a bridge and breaks her leg, and you're trying to figure out if someone did it on purpose. Of course, someone did. And there's also the side story of aliens. And then there's also the side story. There's like a romance. I don't really know what's going on. I've just decided to stop questioning it. One guy, every time you ask him a question, just says yes or no, and like that's pretty much it. And then, or you'll ask him a question and he'll go exactly. And you go what? And he goes what? And that's it. That's like the only things he says. And then the main guy, Sunny June, also speaks in riddles. So really, half the time I have no idea what anyone is talking about. But other than that, Persona 3 is going great, so...
Yeah, we should try and get the license to Nancy Drew and make a new game.
Yeah, one where there's actually a murder this time.
No. See, I was going to say, no, I want it to be this thing where you spend all this time and it's like, no, actually, it wasn't a murder. It was just natural causes and nothing happened.
Nothing happened at all. All of these things that you found have nothing to do with this, actually.
Everyone's just weird, and you're secretly in a mental institute because you broke with reality.
Dun, dun, dun!
See how the fans feel about that one.
Listen, I know a Nancy Drewer, and I feel like they would absolutely go crazy for that. I think some of them would be like, this isn't true to the original stories, and I'd be like, yes, so are half the other ones aren't either. So yeah, I would really love to see it.
Floyd, learn how to code.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do the writing.
Great.
Maggie, you edit the script because you know Nancy Drew.
I'll do the art style.
Cool. Even there you go.
Bet.
And Eddie's gonna be our promotional guy.
Oh, he'll do great.
That's what I'm saying. That motherfucker will sell that game.
He will.
And Candle can do music for it.
Yes.
Yeah. Just Neapolitan Studios coming up.
It's a trademark. Just Neapolitan.
Yes.
Please don't take that from us. We worked really hard on this.
We know some lawyers, maybe.
Maybe. I could know one. You might
know.
Never know.
I never, you know.
You know?
Could also ask around.
Also,
I hang out with people and don't know what they do for work. You know what? That's a lie. I don't hang out with people.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's where my entire argument falls apart.
They don't know that.
But they do now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'm too honest for my own good. I'm sorry. So, Floyd, no spoilers, but how's your Baldur's Gate experience continuing?
It is really good. I am very close to the end of the game now. I'm pretty sure if I don't do the thing that I usually do where I'll play it viciously and then just stop and won't touch it again for a couple months, I should be done by the end of the week. If that. I've also been playing Dead by Daylight because they just added Alan Wake as a character, and I've been having fun.
That's how they get you right there.
Did you learn how to use his abilities?
Absolutely not. I have yet to even check it. I'm gonna be honest. I just be running around doing generators and vibing.
Hey, as long as the vibes are good, who gives a fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got some news.
News.
So, even your anime's not safe.
Oh, you're talking about the Funimation thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, as of April 2nd, there will be no more Funimation site or app.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yep, it's all on Crunchyroll now.
Dang.
As we know, monopolies are really good for innovation.
Yeah.
So, Congratulations to our new anime overlords.
All hail Crunchyroll.
The site and service sucked anyway, which is why I didn't use it that much.
Yeah.
I don't like the UI on the site. Like, searching for stuff was kind of bulky. Like, it just...
Yeah.
And the problem there is they're definitely not going to fix it now that they have no competition. So, that's fun. But yeah, also just so digital copies of titles that people own, and like, so this is like basically like you own a DVD and there'd be a code or whatever on it, and so you could have basically a free digital copy on Crunchyroll. Or not on Crunchyroll, on Funimation. Yes, sorry. Those are not going to transfer over, so you just lose those. Now,
forever.
Yeah.
Oh,
now remember, these
stupid.
are all things that you had to have owned the DVD already.
Mm-hmm.
But as someone who's lost a ton of shit and moves, boy, that's going to suck for the person who, I don't know, had one of their boxes of their anime DVDs go missing and then go, well, it's not a big deal. At least I still have it digitally. Which I know is absolutely like just a fucking straw man argument that I'm creating here. But, you know, I guarantee you there's somebody that's out there that's going to lose some shit because of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so we could complain about this every week and we're all going to say the exact same thing over and over, but it's just so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've mentioned this before, and maybe I haven't, but like, so back to Nancy Drew for a minute. Her Interactive is the company that makes the Nancy Drew games and everything like that. And you can buy the games, like you can buy digital copies on their website. But the thing is, you only have a month to download the game, and then you don't have access to it anymore.
That's wild.
So I'm not making this up. You purchase the game, which, by the way, Steam always has them on sale for like $4. So there's literally 0 point in buying them on the Her Interactive website unless you want a physical copy, because you can buy those off the website too. But the digital copies, you literally get like maybe, I think it's like a month or 2 months. Like it's a couple of months at best for you to be able to download the game, and then after that you literally can no longer access it. So they tell you on the website, like, put it onto a hard drive, put it onto whatever, but like that's it. And they've been doing that for years now, like probably over 10 years. And you would think as time went on they wouldn't do that anymore. And the way that I found out was because my mom, I have an account with them. My mom had bought me a digital copy of one of the games in like 2013 or 2014. And I'd remember when I started streaming Nancy Drew games, I'd remembered that I had that digital copy. So I went on, and every time I tried to download it, it was like, error, like, you don't own this. And I was like, what do you mean I don't own it? It's literally in my account. Like, what do you mean I don't own it? It's right. The only way for me to be able to click on the only way for me to be able to click on this is if I own it. So I emailed Her Interactive and was like, hey, I don't know, like, I know it's been, I think this was in like 2021 or 2022. I was like, I know it's been like 8 years or something. But I was wondering if you guys were able to send me like a new code or something. Like, here's my receipt. Like, I have it online, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, well, if you had read our terms of service, you would see that you only have X amount of time to download it, and then you no longer have access to it. What kind of fucking business model is that? Also, the games are all, even the old ones, like from the 90s, are like $15 or something. And again, on Steam, you can't get the oldest ones. Like, you can't get game 1, 2, or 3, I think, on Steam and like other platforms. But all of the games, like even the 2011 ones, are like $5. And it just drives me fucking insane. So like stuff like this too, it's like, Well, technically, you're still gonna own it. Like you only could get these if you had the physical copies. So like, technically, you still own it. It's like, but like you said, it's like if I lost it, I just lose everything now, I guess. So yeah, just irritating.
That is also such a stupid business model.
Yes.
The only way someone would be going to your website would be to support you directly, which is something you would want to encourage.
Yes.
Since Steam takes 30% of the price off the fucking top for anything sold on there. So why would you put your shit on sale on Steam, keep it full price on Steam, cut the price on your fucking website, redirect people to your website, and allow unlimited ownership? Holy fucking shit, maybe you'd have money to make a new Nancy Drew.
It's crazy, dude.
Okay,
it's literally
now
crazy.
I'm kind of serious about buying the rights to all the Nancy Drew games and like fixing their fucking business model.
Wait, I'm opening up their FAQ because I know.
What the shit?
Like,
I guarantee if we bought the rights and we're like, yeah, cool, and now come to the site and you can actually own your digital copies forever, they will be DRM free. Put that on all the dude, we would pay for this fucking podcast in like the next 10 years of it. Like, I get, because it's not that expensive to run this podcast. I mean, that's number one. But I could easily, you know, although, well, we'd need the seed money to get it, the rights, but whatever.
It's literally so crazy. I'm trying to find.
Makes no sense.
Where it says that.
Now I'm just curious. Are they on GOG at least?
GOG?
Probably not if they're good old games.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, Good Old Games is the platform that I wish everyone used instead of Steam, because everything on GOG is DRM free. Which means you can just share things with everyone. Although, as Candle had pointed out, there's apparently a Steam like family mode that we could all be using.
Oh, I did see that he said that.
Yeah. Which, I guess we could look into that. But that's still not the same as everything's DRM free. That is, you know. But yeah, no, I love GOG because you're talking even new games you buy on it. Like if you buy it on GOG, it's DRM free. So it's the closest way that you can actually own something digitally. They can delist it still, but that's fine because since it's DRM free, it's like, that's cool. My 10 friends also have a copy of this game I own, and I'll just have them send it to me.
Okay, I can't find it on their website.
Family library sharing allows selected accounts to use your... Ooh, that's fun. Let's set that up.
Oh no, I only have the disk space left for 160 more hours of recording. So, speaking of things that come up every week, layoffs.
I know, I knew it was coming because I was reading about more of them.
So this is actually, so what I'm going to do here is let everyone know this fantastic, very in-depth, well-written article that came out on February 12th on IGN, and it's written by Rebecca Valentine. It is so well-written, very well-researched. She has interviews with people. She talks about like different reasons why gaming companies are losing, because, you know, there's a lot of it's like, oh, because everyone like line goes up, but really, when you look into it, these are problems that were happening before the pandemic. That really, like, the pandemic and line go up shit kind of, like, allowed these bad business decisions to fester for 3 more years. But this is shit that's been going on forever. And like I said, well-researched, well-written. I will say this. It has the worst title I've ever seen for an article ever. It is, and I quote, "I've never seen it this bad." End quote. Game developers explain huge layoffs hitting Riot, Epic, and more. That is the title of the article. But the article is amazing, so don't let the title. So I'm throwing it out there. Yeah, I can rant about capitalism and problems all you want. Here's something that's actually like by someone who does journalism.
Yeah,
It isn't
yeah,
just
yeah.
reactionary. I'm very reactionary. I'm not a journalist. I don't want to be one. You have to research shit to be a journalist, and that's boring. I prefer just getting angry about something and yelling into a mic. This is a podcast, after all. But I just want to put this into perspective about how I keep saying, don't worry, it's going to get worse. In 2023, the total layoffs were 10,500. As of now, we are estimated, and remember estimated because we're never going to get the final numbers probably till like the end of the year or the end of the quarter, when we are already estimated to be at 6,000 for this year.
That is crazy.
This is still first quarter.
I know. That is so crazy.
Yeah. And first quarter generally is when companies spend. This year is going to be bad. So, support independent media, support independent game companies. People aren't going to do it. We're going to buy the next EA bullshit and Ubisoft crap that they shoved down our throats while they continue to lay people off. But I'm just saying. I don't know that we're going to have, and I'm not calling this as like an 83 type video game crash, but this one's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Like, this is still just the beginning.
True.
And we'll be here for the entire terrible ride.
We'll be here to tell you more about it.
I mean, I'm going to keep hammering the point. I'm not going to just like drop it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, as I've said, I'm trying to not get in depth and go on a rant every single week. But like, these numbers suck. And like, if you're listening to this, I'm assuming you're a fan of video games. So as someone who, like, hey, I'm kind of happy we've had that roll twice about like video game memories. Those memories don't exist without the people that make games.
That's true.
That's all there is to it. And I don't get me wrong, I'll still like talk shit about the developers of Midfield having their feelings hurt because people are calling them on their mid-game. I get that there's a lot that goes on that as a developer you don't have control over. I understand that. A bad game's a bad game, though. Like, you don't get a pass on that. But that doesn't mean that I think that thousands and thousands of people should be laid off with no recourse. There's nothing for them to do because, layoffs happen after games a lot, but then you just sign on with a new studio.
Yeah. They
can't do that right now because all the studios are laying off continuously.
Yeah.
So hopefully some of these people get sick of it and, either unionize or just start their own game companies and make the games they want to make. There's that quote that went around on Twitter where someone was like, I want to pay more money for shorter games with worse graphics, and I'm 100% serious. And so am I.
I follow a lot of like indie game developer TikTokers that are like coming out with their first release of games and stuff like that, and they're like, okay, well, just so you know, like, this game is only like an hour long, and like it's my first project ever, blah blah. And I'm like, money, take it. Take it. I want to see what you can do with this. like I started following one today where it's someone and their partner. I believe they're both queer. I think they're both non-binary, but I'm not entirely sure. And they're making a like coffee shop, like food making simulator game, but with one of the partner's art style, and it's also a dating sim, so it's mainly like a visual novel-esque type of thing. But she was showing the process of making all the different food, like drawing all the different food and stuff, and instantly I was like, where can I donate? I want to play this so bad. How can I help you? It's just amazing to watch people's craft and to see the people that actually like give a shit about it. So
yeah. That just reminds me of like I know I've mentioned this before on the podcast, like the guy who's like making like classical musical like video game where he incorporates like the notes into the actual like fighting for the character. And I think it's going to be so fun because obviously you'll have to like keep a rhythm, but the game walks you through like learning notes and shit. And I think it's going to be so great, and I can't wait
Yeah.
to actually play it when he's done.
Yeah, you have mentioned that, and that is another one that, since you're keeping an eye on it, you better let me know when that's out, because I want to try that shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I talk about all the time. Like, indie developers are the ones with the new ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's where the creativity comes from, and that's what I like seeing in games. You know, like, yeah, I'll still play some of the bigger games, obviously. You know, there's some shit that big studios are going to do better due to, like, you know, licensing or
Money.
I mean, yeah. You throw money at certain problems.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't got shit on any developers.
Yeah.
And then this is just a callback to last week, and totally we knew it was what it was. I'm calling this one Burger Time 2.0, the Nothing Edition. So don't worry, Microsoft is still making consoles. See, called that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep, they're going to put games on PlayStation and Nintendo when possible. Yep,
Yeah.
called that. Don't worry, there'll still be Game Pass and first-party titles. Yep, called that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, Diablo 4 is coming to Game Pass.
After
The titles
they said it wasn't coming, and I say, shit,
Uh-huh.
you're fucking lie. It's gonna be there. Don't worry.
So, you know,
Fucking
proof that the titles that they own, they're just going to put on Game Pass,
Mhm.
and you get them for free there, and then they'll sell them other places. So, okay, called that. Total Nothing Burger. Yep, called that. I think I'll have to quote the Escapist Firelink podcast on this one. They had a great title. The Microsoft announcement that could have been an email.
Yeah.
That's basically what it came down to. It was nothing. It was nothing. Which, you know, unless you were like one of those dumbass fannies that had to pull over to the side of the road because you're having an existential crisis. Oh my God, get a personality. A console should not be your personality, bro.
No,
But,
truly.
okay. So my
Also,
thing with that,
The dude
is,
I'm referencing is probably my age, if not older. Like, holy shit, bro.
yeah. My whole thing with that is like I've seen like so many like reaction videos to like the rumor that Xbox was gonna like give PlayStation fucking Nintendo their games, and everybody and they're always Xbox fanboys. Like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? And my whole thought process is, if you are strictly Xbox, what are you losing out of this deal?
Exactly.
Literally
oh no,
nothing.
the company that makes your console is going to have more money.
Yeah. And then another argument they like to try to like spew out is like, okay, so if they put their games on other consoles, what makes you think people are going to buy their consoles? And you know what? It would be a good argument if the main supplier of their money wasn't Microsoft. They can literally produce consoles at a loss and still be fine. Like,
Well, all consoles are loss. They
I mean,
always
yes.
are. And also, that's such a fucking bullshit argument because since Sony, since PlayStation and Xbox have been competing with each other, Sony has been selling 2-1. That is not new. That's
Right.
like a number everyone keeps freaking out about. I'm like, but that's how it's been since day one. Microsoft has basically, and once again, called this shit, has given up on the whole idea of console war because it doesn't profit them. Why wouldn't you sell your games on a console that has sold twice as many as yours?
Yeah.
Right.
That's just smart business.
But yeah, like they saw that they was like, oh yeah, we haven't really competed with console sales since the 360. Why would we keep trying when we could just give them that and they give us money?
Yeah. Like their focus is Game Pass. They've even said, like when the Xbox One was coming out, is that they didn't want it to necessarily be a game console. They want it to be like the center of the living room. They want it to be like an entertainment thing. So
Yeah.
that's why they push like, having YouTube and Netflix and all those programs on your Xbox. Yeah, it was a dumb thing from the beginning. I knew it was going to be nothing, but because of all the reactionary bullshit, that's why I was like, okay, we gotta. Well, they have to, but I was also like, last week, I'm like, listen, we gotta talk about this because I'm not saying we're professionals or anything, but I'd like to hold us to at least a little bit of a standard. If everybody's talking about something in the gaming world, I'm like, well, we gotta at least mention it. My cool head is everywhere except capitalism.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we can all agree with that.
I mean, like I said, I'm gonna make that bingo card one day. I'm gonna make the bingo card. I'm gonna post it on Instagram, and if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. All 6 followers, I think, on the Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. I've been trying to get.
Instagram.
I've been posting stuff on there now and then. Sometimes it's funny. I'm working on making memes.
Yeah.
Memes.
I'm not good at it, but I'm working on it.
Getting
All right,
there.
y'all got anything else this week?
Nope.
That's it for me.
All right. Thank y'all for putting up with us. We love
As
you.
always, love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.